I'm going to be talking about compassion, and I'm going to be answering the question, do we have compassion? As I'm up here, I hope you're having compassion for me because the lights are hitting the top of my head and it's reflecting in your face. But compassion is the concern in the regard for others, to have sympathy for others. But when you think about it, you have to ask yourself some questions. Do we have compassion? Specifically for other people. Do you have compassion for yourself? You know, most people, and this is myself included, I have so much difficulty. It's so hard for me to have compassion all the time. Because I find that I'm being selective with compassion. Aren't we all selective with compassion? I mean, you only want to have compassion for certain things or for certain people. That's not compassion, that's prejudice. So, what we have to do, we have to be happy. And I know you think to yourself, well, hey, I am happy. Are you? I mean, only you would know the answer to that. But if you think of your home and where you live, I think of my house, or should I say a home, I think of my home and it's very happy. But I struggle every day. I reflect on everything I say, everything I do, the interactions I have. But then I think of people on the other parts of the planet, and I say to myself, are they happy? Think of the year 2018. Think of yourself, where you live. Now, if you're happy and in other parts of the world, other people aren't happy, then we're lacking compassion. Because compassion is actually loving everyone as a whole. And like I said, we're just being selective. So I'm going to talk to you about 3 things today. And hopefully I can answer some questions about compassion. In our society and the way that we live in a very competitive society, specifically in the West. I'm from the United States. I was in pharmaceutical sales, and I was real good. But I was really competitive. That competitiveness brought me to the next level. It brought me from number 68. It brought me to number 19. It brought me to number 11 out of 500 salespeople. And a lot of people would say, wow, man, you're living, you're happy. No, I wasn't. Because I know that there were other people that would love to be in my shoes, and the competitiveness is actually creating the chaos in our minds, the division between people, thinking that you're better or more superior than other people. Because if you think that you're more superior, you're not compassionate. How can you be? You're not. You're being selective. And that's not compassion, that's prejudice. So if you're competitive, you have chaos. Remember when the iPad came out? You're in elementary school, right? Remember the first student that brought in that iPad? Oh. Everybody wanted that iPad. Who could get it first? Who could take photos with it? It's that competitiveness. It's even the same thing with NHS, Steve Fordham, Eagle of the Month. That competitiveness. Yes, the smiles on your face. Oh, I'm so happy for you. And you will do anything you possibly can to take it to the next step. Your parents are on top of you. Your family's on top of you. Society's on top of you. Everyone is around you, pushing you to be competitive. Chaos. That's not happy. Envy. Jealous. I just showed you that if you're competitive, you can't have compassion. If you have envy, you can't have compassion either. In our society in the West, again, competitiveness, envy, there's the chaos in your mind. I just talked to you about the iPad. How jealous were you when that person got that iPad? How jealous are you that your best friend may be dating the nicest looking guy or the nicest looking girl, and you were wishing that was you, though you have that smile on your face, the masks that we wear. So you're lying to yourself, and you're lying to your friends. And in the meantime, you're jealous. We're all like that. I'm like that. How do we change that? That's in the mind. Can you control that? I can't. And I focus on it every day. Every day. When I get home at night, I talk to my wife constantly. The things I said, the people I made, the encounters that we have. Constantly. Judging people constantly. Jealous of other people constantly. Chaos in the mind. Which brings me to greed. The way the West works. Competitiveness, jealousy, and envy, and greed. Those three make a big sandwich of chaos. Because once greed gets involved, you don't have a happy life. You're living a life based on materialism. Go into the mall, look at our societies in general. Look at what they're teaching us to do. Go shopping, you'll be happy. Really? Get new clothes, put them on, you look great. Really? You're putting all of these images on yourself to look cool. But how are you feeling inside? You don't even have compassion for yourself, trying to fit in. But that's not our fault. It's chaos. So if we have the chaos in the mind with competitiveness, envy, jealousy, and greed, actually we are reflecting the society that we have currently in 2018. War, death, destruction, genocide, homelessness, hunger, murder, poverty, racism, rape. That's dystopian. We create that. I ask you again, do you have compassion? And I try every day to try to put myself in other people's shoes, forgive, be honest, tell the truth, yet my truth may be different than someone else's truth. If we do not have compassion, firstly with ourselves, we lost. I lost in pharmaceutical. I walked away from it. I walked away from a lot of money. But you want to know what? At least I have a peace of mind and I am happy. Yet it's a struggle. Being number one and having all the diplomas on the wall and going to the best university doesn't teach you how to be compassionate. It teaches you how to be competitive. And with competitiveness, it teaches you jealousy and it teaches you greed. Once you have that chaos, how could you have compassion? Because the only thing you're trying to do is to be number one in their eyes. Happiness. Are you? I struggle every day, and I focus on it every day. I meditate, I do yoga, I constantly try to be a better person. Can you do that? I already told you I can't. And I'm focusing on it constantly. So my question is this: do we have compassion? Only you would know the answer to that. I know my answer. I just watch. I already know the answer. Yeah, thank you. All right.